Hi, welcome back to my Spotify Wrapped OC series where I make a character based on each song on my Spotify Wrapped for 2025. And this song is Every Little Thing I Say I Do by Dayglow. It's a really cute song, it's a very sweet song, it's kind of just very simplistic in wanting to do what you say for someone and wanting someone to believe in you and to like you and to have like a good friendship or relationship with you. It's just really upbeat, it's very poppy, it's very fun. I love Dayglow's music. He just makes banger after banger. And it's not just the upbeat stuff with him, but when he does like a joyful, energetic song, he really pulls it off. So there's more Dayglow on this list. But for this one, I thought about these dynamic duos in fiction. There are so many characters that I love that kind of just exist in context of one another. And I wanted to make people who are just very close, very good friends. I wanted to make a set for this song. I'm maybe allergic to just making one character for a song because this is the second or maybe third time this has happened where I've designed two people into one song. But I think Anne and Diana from Anne of Green Gables are like the best example of this. I love their friendship. They're so sweet together and it just clicks immediately. I had a friend who lived down the street from me and we made friends because she was trying to lure like a stray cat into a cat carrier so her family could take it to the vet and see if it had a microchip. So she like had wandered down to where my house was. I think she had like a can of tuna and she was like hitting it with a spoon and she was like, "Here, kitty, kitty." And I love cats, especially as a kid. I was like rabid about them. So I immediately was like, "Is there a cat like around here?" Like I didn't even say hello to her. I think I just jumped into her life asking if she knew there was a cat around. And she explained the situation to me and then we like walked around the neighborhood looking for the cat. And that was just like such a sweet friendship for me to have in my childhood. Like obviously we've both moved away, we've kind of lost touch. I only wish like the best for her. I hope she's doing well wherever she is. But I just love those like brief and like strong attachments that form in terms of friendship, and especially childhood friendship is just so pure and so earnest. I don't know, I just love that. I want to capture that dynamic. So I've got kind of an Anne and Diana pair. I want definitely one of them to be like overly serious, maybe the other one a little bit chaotic or like a troublemaker. I want like a modern analog of them. So we will see how much designing I fit into this video versus how much maybe is a Patreon bonus video for free subscribers on Patreon. I want to at least get through the creation of one of the two girls. I'm really hyped about this episode. I hope you guys are too. I'm just gonna move straight into character creation now. So I'm just gonna thumbnail some ideas for a way to show them together. Maybe they are both just literally walking down the street, hanging out. I think one of them being a little bit taller than the other is always a fun way to do stuff. I have this idea, maybe one of them is like a skateboarder. I kind of like the mirrored pose too. It's a little lazy on my part, but it's fun to show them walking even the same way. Like that's how in sync they are. That's how long they've known each other. They just kind of walk the same. Maybe like a spiky ponytail or a scene haircut or something like that. That would be fun, huh? She's got a drink or she's texting. Maybe they're getting ice cream. That's just it.
Bam! Just like that. That's all there is to it, Dustin. That's all there is to it. A winner! Just like that. We'll be right back. More Price is Right. Don't go away.
Okay, those are some thoughts, but now I have to get the girls figured out. I'm gonna do them in a cutesy, sort of a cartoony style, because realism is a little bit much right now. I'm gonna give her a headband under her curly hair and maybe be like a thinner face. I don't know how clearly that's coming through. I need to learn a proper way to draw curly hair at some point. Now I have to figure out what season it is because I need to figure out what clothes they're wearing. This is dumb. I'm overthinking it. I'm gonna give her overalls. I decided I was wanting to give one of them overalls. That may be subliminally why I wore overalls today. Maybe she has one hand out on her hip. That's a classic pose. I be hitting that pose all the time. They're big overalls like mine. They're like rolled up at the bottom. Oh, she's got one hand in her pocket. Classic pose, I tell you. Which way's the thumb? Out. Okay, yep. Every longboarder I know is like, it's a longboard actually. And I'm like, okay, it does the same thing, right? I mean, am I wrong? It's kind of like the roller skates versus roller blades debate. Like, okay, either way, you're just in a controlled slide. That's all it is. So why don't we calm down, everyone? Okay, girl 1. Girl 2, a little shorter. She's got scene hair. All my friends had scene hair in the early 2010s. And I've seen it's making a little bit of a comeback. I don't remember very much about how it looks. She's just got it teased like to high heavens right now. I don't know what she's gonna wear. No, something baggy. Ooh, like Billie Eilish core. I love Billie Eilish. There's gonna be Billie Eilish on this project. Like Billie Eilish songs. I'm legit gonna go look up a picture of her and like lift this outfit directly from it. So right now I'm just gonna block in like her hips are lower because she's shorter. Her arms are gonna be like the same-ish length. Okay, yeah, from here to here is about it. So down here. I like the idea of having this arm up. She's giving someone a peace sign. You thought it was gonna be something different, huh? I'll figure it out. I think longboard curly girl is gonna be like the one for this episode. I'm not gonna give these girls names because I think whoever gets them will probably end up wanting to name them very specifically. Maybe based on a self and a childhood friend or something like that. Ugh, she's looking kind of like a troll, I'm sorry. I'm gonna do some off-camera work to really actually nail down her style and get her looking nice. I'm back after a little bit of Google imaging, and I changed her stance up so that it's maybe a little more confident. She's kind of angled back. That line's just to indicate kind of where her spine is. I gave her some nice baggy clothes based on unfortunately a paparazzi picture of Billie Eilish where she's just got these really cool baggy cargo pants on and like a My Chemical Romance shirt, whatever. Anyways, so, and I've also decided to ditch the scene haircut and just give her long hair. So I'm gonna ink these girls, and then I think I will do some drawing montage for the picture where they're just together in a place. And then I'll call it good for this video. Trying to keep these a little shorter, a little more simple. I love showing every step of the process. How do I say this? I don't care a ton about actually doing a great job as a YouTube channel. Like I don't care if I never blow up and get famous or whatever. My main goal is not to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody. I just really would prefer for people who do find my content to enjoy it. And I know I can be super wordy, super verbose, and not everybody is gonna want to see every single step of the process. Just trying to find a good compromise between showing everything that I'm doing and showing enough of it that maybe it's inspirational for other people, or maybe if you're really young and you're starting out, or honestly, I shouldn't even gatekeep that much. If you're unaware of like an artistic method or like a technique or something I do is something you haven't seen before, I want to keep it in so that maybe you can try it and learn from it. Not even for the sake of learning from me, but just because like I learned it from someone because they did it for me. And so you'll learn it from someone whenever they do it for you. That's largely how this whole thing works on this planet. So I'm not trying to like posture myself as an authority, but I also recognize that I have a skill and a capability that is worth sharing and that other people are interested in and that they want to cultivate in themselves. So all of this is just a really wordy way to say I'm trying to figure out how to cut the fat and keep the meat in these pictures, in these moving pictures I develop. I'm a producer, director, actor, one-woman show. I hate drawing pinkies because they look wrong if you draw them the way that they really are. She has one too many fingers, but this isn't an AI art. Look, I fixed it. Can ChatGPT do that? Yes, at the expenditure of many gallons of water. But hey, don't worry about it, right? I did forget to look up a reference picture of a longboard, so everybody boo me and jeer in the comments. Put a tomato emoji like you're throwing a rotten tomato at me. Make sure to unlike and unsubscribe and dislike and do an act of violence, and maybe not that one. Maybe don't do an act of violence. There's kind of enough of those happening on a state-funded level even. Aren't we living in really fun and interesting times? Let's think about girl best friends instead. You might be wondering, Josie, why don't these girls have prominent eyelashes? Because I don't care. You can hold all your other questions until the end. My mom watches these videos and I love her very much. Anytime I'm being kind of cheeky with the viewer and like giving attitude, Mom, I'm not giving you attitude, don't worry. It's funny, I would like stay with friends sometimes and they'd have relationships with their parents where they can like just kind of yell at each other and there's no hard feelings. And my mom has had enough people yell at her that that's just not the kind of dynamic that we can have. Nor would we want to, like that's so chaotic. Everybody be nice to my mom if you see her. She raised me. I don't think I'm gonna do ink on these little stripies. I think I'm gonna call it good. Whoa, I just jolted the camera. I think I'm gonna call it, I just jolted the camera again. It's because I'm wearing a baseball cap. Okay, third try, I took off the cap. I think I'm gonna call it good on these two. I might do a time lapse of drawing one of these. Maybe I'll do this digitally. I don't know yet, but that's it for now. So I ended up making a digital version of the ice cream shop drawing. Here's how it turned out in the end. There are definitely things that I would change or would have done differently, and I definitely also got a little lazy near the end. The background outside is just a photo I took of a park near me with heavy Gaussian blur and then a few other colors over it and then more blur. But there were two things that I kind of improvised for this that I was really proud of, so I want to talk about those real quick. The first one is that I used the built-in perspective tool in Procreate in order to make the background because I didn't want to have to do guesswork about how to angle the table and how to angle the chair around it. So what I did was I just made a box, like a room that was a box. I didn't care about filling up the canvas. I just cared about creating a set basically to work with. And then I filled it with a table, a booth, and a chair off to the side. I added the window and the door. And then when I was done with that, I exploded it basically. I made it bigger so it would fill the canvas the way I wanted it to. And I could kind of rest easy knowing that those perspective lines were correct to some point of reference. While this time lapse of the perspective work plays out, I want to talk about Antler Fluff or Chris Harson. They are my artist inspiration for this episode. They make really awesome mugs with beautiful carved details and glazed details on them. They have a lot of spooky ones, but my favorite work of theirs by far is the unicorn mug that's kind of pinned at the top of their profile on Instagram, really easy to get to. And I also really enjoy the printed work that appears very sparsely on their profile. I really love their line work. I love that it's a physical medium. You know it was handmade by somebody. So that is Antler Fluff, and I will link them in the description. And another thing I figured out how to do is a sort of believable shortcut to a tie-dye pattern on someone's clothing What I did was I took a brush that had kind of a level of variance in it, so something that looks like brush strokes or the wispy looking one that I have here. I just kind of made a few lines in the white color that I wanted to come through, and then I used the liquefy tool to kind of push and pull those lines around. I messed with it for a little bit on this second attempt that I recorded until I was somewhat happy with it. Then what you can do is use the crystallize tool, which I kind of hope that other drawing softwares have this, but I'm not as experienced with others, so I'm sorry if this is a Procreate exclusive hack, but using the crystallize tool is what makes it actually look like tie-dye because it creates chunks that extend further than the others radially, which is just like a tie-dye pattern. I thought that was fun. I was really happy with just the experimentation that it took to figure that out, and so those two things are things that I appreciate about the drawing process on this one. Like I said, there are other things I would have maybe done differently. I did struggle a bit with line art and posing, but I'm just gonna get better at that. I also think if my lines were thinner, it would look better overall. But there's a digital piece of these two characters, and I think I will leave you with that for the week. Thank you. I feel like I blinked like a Muppet.